Hello again. Today I am joined by the amazing Laura Bartlett, who runs Future. Sorry, I'm going to get that wrong. Your business name is really confusing today. So today I'm joined by Laura Bartlett, who runs Brighter Future Therapy Practice. That is a mouthful to say, and is one of our newest members at my WiBN Lee on Sea group. For those of you not met me before, my name's Vicky Lavenger, and I run WiBN Women in Business networking groups across Essex. And these member showcase videos are really an opportunity for me to be able to show you the most amazing members that I have within my groups. So Laura works with midlife women, I think I'm a bit past that, who are experiencing things like burnout, overthinking, a loss of confidence. And she uses solution-focused hypnotherapy to help you get your brain working for you rather than against you. She's also got a really interesting career journey, which we will dig into. So I'm looking forward to learning a little bit more about the work you do. So welcome to the showcase, Laura. It's
Thank you.
fantastic to have you here, and well
Yeah.
done being one of my newer members that, comes on and records these with me. So I alluded to the fact that your career path is quite interesting. You told me that you spent over 20 years working in insurance before retraining.
Yeah.
What prompted the change, and why solution focused hypnotherapy?
So when I left school or left college, I did a psychology degree, which I've always been really interested in the brain and in science, biology, and all those things. So I really enjoyed that. But as many of us do, we fall into the corporate world and the money
Mm.
that follows. So yeah, I found myself in insurance just from doing some work experience with a friend's dad, which we had to do for college. And then, yeah, got offered a job after I finished my degree. So I worked as a political violence broker, which sounds probably a lot more maybe interesting than it is. But it was insuring and reinsuring big companies for terrorism and political violence cover. So I did quite a lot of travel, South Africa and Africa, and had a really good lifestyle out of it. Earned quite a lot of money, went to nice hotels, nice restaurants, and yeah, had a really good life out of it. I did work really hard. With my first daughter, I took just 6 weeks maternity cover.
Wow.
And then I had another three children in quite quick succession. And I just found I wasn't enjoying it anymore. I was a bit burnt out myself. Wanted to spend more time with the kids, wanted to do something that to me felt more worthwhile. So I decided to, yeah, retrain as a solution focused hypnotherapist.
Why hypnotherapy? Was it something that you had tried yourself as a customer of hypnotherapy? Was it something that you'd already been interested in? Did it take you back to your psychology degree days? Because there's so many different types of therapy, isn't there? What
Yeah.
was it that drew you to that?
Well, I'd never had, quite unusually, I'd never had any kind of therapy, counselling, or anything like that. And I guess I was sort of the mindset, you sort these things out yourself. I'm not
Mm.
particularly like sort of woo-woo person. So the solution focused approach really appealed to me because it's goal focused. It's not delving into the past. It's not talking about negative events. It's all evidence backed, and it's just really scientific of when you're in a bit of a tough spot. This is where you are, and this is where you want to be. So I really liked that approach.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because you can think of hypnotherapy in so many different ways. And I had hypnotherapy over 20 years ago. And at the time I was like, yeah, this isn't real, but I'm going to give it a go. I think I got to that. You get to that sort of desperate rock bottom stage, don't you? And you're like, I'll try anything at this point in time. But it's interesting. A lot of the ladies that are part of the WiBN network have come from worked a corporate job, started a business, and therefore are coming to network to do that. I was very much the same, coming out of a 30-year career working in London and like you traveling around the world to then start a business of my own like 5 years ago. Um, I do think when you think about the solution-based hypnotherapy, a lot of that will potentially have come from the way you've been brought up in business. You
Yeah.
know, we come from industries that like structure, there are processes to follow. There's always like an end goal that you're looking at. So where was the most glamorous place you traveled to as part of working in insurance?
Probably Mauritius, which is
Nice.
not too shabby. Yeah, very nice. But I really love South Africa as well. So doing the safaris and that, just the opportunities are just amazing. Yeah, I really love that side of things. It's a really nice country.
Yeah, nice. It's funny, isn't it? Because you travel for work and people think it's really glamorous that you're going off to all these places. I mean, you might have had a nice bit of time in Mauritius, but when I traveled, it was always really early starts, really
Yeah.
late finishes. And I remember going to Venice, and my friends were like, "Oh my God, you're going to Venice for work?" And I'm like, "No, I'm flying to Marco Polo Airport, and then I've got a taxi taking me to an industrial estate on the outskirts of Venice." It really isn't as glamorous as it sounds. So it's funny, isn't it? I've got girls that are of an age now. My youngest has just finished her, she's got a psychology degree,
Oh,
and thinking about all the things that they do, they think you have to have it absolutely nailed, but actually there's so many different phases of our life, our careers can change. So tell me a little bit more about solution focused hypnotherapy, um, how it differs from our other therapy. You touched on it a little bit, but get into a bit more detail with me on it.
yeah. So solution focused hypnotherapy is it's a mixture of psychotherapy and hypnosis. So it's based on really draws on all the best elements of CBT and NLP. Um, so it works with your brain, as we said before, rather than against you. And it's all about regulating that nervous system so we can get in the best possible state of mind to make those changes. And the psychotherapy part, so the main part of sessions is a talking therapy, but again, it's very future focused, goal focused. It's all about finding your preferred future, doing visualization and things like that. And then the hypnosis is actually a fairly small part of it. That's 20 minutes at the end of a session. And that is just when we're in hypnosis or trance, that's when all the brain waves align, all our nice, relaxing, problem solving brain waves go up, our anxious ones go down. And that just cements everything that we spoke about in a session and gets that embedded in the subconscious. So it's easier for us to go ahead with those decisions that we've decided we want to make.
Yeah, so it's not just coming in for an hour's appointment, lying on the couch, going into hypnotherapy. There's a lot more that goes into that
Yeah.
than even getting to the hypnotherapy stage. And when people come to you, are they, I know as I say, when I went, I was pretty I've really got to do something and I'll try anything right now. Is that typically the stage that people come to you at, or have you got a mix of clients that come to you that are like, yeah, I know what this is about and how it works, and therefore I'm ready to get going before I get, truly into that burnout stage?
Yeah, no, a few people have looked into it and they like that solution focused approach. But a lot of clients, as you said, they'd have been in counselling for years. They'd have tried EMDR. They'd have tried different forms of therapy, and they are kind of like, what to try next. But one thing that I think everyone should get out of therapy is that you should leave your session feeling better than when you went in. And I think a lot of my clients were sort of burnt out from traditional counselling. They'd feel wretched after every session. They'd delved into the past, brought up old feelings. They'd come out crying, feeling worse than they went in. And it's just like, that's not, to me, what therapy should be.
Yeah, 100%. And it can be, for somebody looking for different types of therapy, it can be so confusing. I mean, you said NLP and CBT, which I know what they are, neuro linguistic. No, I thought I knew what they were, but then you just said
Programming.
EMD. There are so many different types of sort of, I guess would you call them programs or ways in which you can, work with different people? It can be a bit of a minefield to think, well, which one would be right for me? So if I was a midlife woman, which I guess I am, I'm 50, I don't know what the classification of midlife is anymore. I'm 57 this year. But if I'm a 57-year-old woman that's experiencing, particularly burnout, I don't know whether when actually looking for a solution to help me, would I just get so overwhelmed because there's so many different types out there? Or do
Yeah.
you find that people have done the research and know which route they want to go down?
Some people have done the research. I think a lot of it, yeah, it's still that education. So even hypnotherapy, there's so many different forms of hypnotherapy. So when people come to me and they say, I've had hypnotherapy, I'm like, well, there's different forms. So the hypnotherapy that I do is it's very safe, it's very gentle. I mean, the hypnosis part is just trance. So we go in and out of trance lots of times a day when we're driving a regular route and you think, oh, I don't remember going past that school or that church. That's trance, that's hypnosis basically. So it is just that relaxation part of it. So I think, yeah, it's just a lot of people don't really know when they come for a consultation what it's about. They might have ideas of hypnosis, or they might know that someone's had it. But a lot of it comes, I think, from seeing the case studies and seeing, recognizing themselves in those case studies and seeing how
Yeah.
effective they were.
Yeah, because I think it's about recognizing when we see anything really, and somebody's listing off of things that they're struggling with, and we're mentally going, yeah, I do that. Yeah, I do that. Yeah, that's me. Yeah. But you're so right about the trance. The amount of times I've driven somewhere and I've got there and I think, I don't, I don't actually remember much of this journey, which can be quite worrying sometimes
Yeah.
because it's like, was I actually paying attention, or would I have snapped into gear the minute I, needed to stop or do what I needed to do? So there's quite a lot of myths around hypnotherapy. So I mean, I don't know if it's as much on the TV now, and if it's trawled around with stage shows. But what are some of the biggest misconceptions about hypnotherapy that you hear from clients? Is it that you're going to make me
Um,
cluck like a chicken? I mean,
yeah,
what?
I was going to say that's one of the ones. It's that stage hypnosis, the dancing like a chicken. So I guess one of the myths is that I can't make you do anything you don't want to do. I can't make you dance like a chicken or anything like that. Um, Hypnosis brings out what's inside of you, so it's whatever you want to be doing. So that's one of the misconceptions, and other things like you're completely out, which you're not. It's more of like a dreamlike state. So you'll
Yeah.
find you're listening to me, and then you're thinking about what you got to get for the shopping, and then you're listening to me again, and then you're thinking, oh, actually, I think I want to change my hours at work, or I want to do this, and then you drift in. So I'd say it's more like that dreamlike state. Another myth is that you can get stuck in hypnosis, which you can't. Even if you feel like you are out, if I say, right, time to open your eyes, you open your eyes. So yeah, and it's just, I guess it's not that magic wand. It's
Yeah.
part of a therapy program, and it's not going to be, you will do this, you will do that, and suddenly that's what you're doing. It's working with your brain in that gentler way.
Yeah. So if I was to come to you for, say, I could say imagine I'm burnt out. I think some days I think the amount all of us have going on. I am not special in my own burnout, but if I came to you, what would that look like in terms of working with me? So if I was a woman at, midlife experiencing burnout, is it a number of sessions that it takes, or is it so different for each individual person depending on where they're at?
It is different for each individual person. It is that short-term support with long-lasting change. So it's not like counselling or anything. You can have years and years of it. Most clients see me for 8 to 12 sessions, sometimes more, sometimes less. But it is that short-term therapy. So a lot of clients, they see real benefit by the 5 or 6 session mark.
Yeah, yeah. And is this something that people come to you in a particular location for? Do you go out to people? Where does the therapy happen?
So I've got a therapy room within my house, which is in Hadley in Essex. But I can also do sessions via Zoom anywhere in the world. So I've had some sessions with clients in Australia, Canada, America as well. So yes, any sessions by Zoom. I don't go to people, but people can come to me or
Yeah.
do online.
Yeah. And I guess, you're creating that really nice safe space when people do come to you. It's funny, isn't it? When somebody said to me once, "Oh yeah, I can work with you online because I can feel your energy," and I can feel, I was like, uh-huh. I don't, yeah, really? I don't, I'm quite cynical. You might be surprised
Yeah.
to understand that about me. But I started doing some work with her because she was a friend of mine and she lived in Australia. And I would come on a call and she'd be like, "How's things?" I go, "Yeah, fine." She'd go, "I don't like to swear on these recordings, but what the," she'd be like, "What is going on at home? There is obviously something wrong." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And because I can be quite guarded about what I tell people. It would take me a little bit while. And I'm like, how do you know this is going on? And she's like, "Because I can feel your energy." So it's interesting, isn't it? Because when you say I can work with clients online, people might think, well, how does that work? But having had first-hand experience of working with somebody that knows exactly how I'm feeling, even halfway around the world, I'm certainly converted to that. Do you often get clients pushing back, going, "Well, how does that work online when we're talking about hypnotherapy?"
Yeah, initially,
Yeah,
but
literally.
studies have shown that it is equally effective online and in person. Some clients will come to see me in person at the beginning because I think they like to see, that I have got a room and I'm a
Yeah,
proper person. But then they might think, well, actually, session 3, it's easier for me to do it in my lunch hour at home, and then I can do the hypnosis part just relaxed on my couch or on my
yeah,
bed. And also the hypnosis part is, I give all clients a recording as well, which they can listen to every night. So essentially, it's the same as that anyway. And obviously, the talking part, can be done over Zoom equally as well.
yeah. It's I guess it's like these things are accessible, and we shouldn't think that there's any locational sort of boundaries that stop you getting help. So if someone is watching or listening to this and they recognize some of the symptoms or the things that you help with, so we talked about burnout, but you also help people that are overthinking, lack of confidence. If someone is recognizing these things in themselves, what's the first step that they can take to start turning that around? And is there some form of sort of free initial consultation that you have that can help them get on that journey?
Yeah, so the first step would be to book a free consultation, which is something I offer either in person or via Zoom, which is up to 45 minutes, and it's really relaxed. There's no obligation. I'll take some brief details, but if anyone doesn't have to divulge anything in the past, as you said, we're solution focused. And I'll do an explanation of the brain, different areas, and why it's making us feel the way we do. We'll talk more about what we can do to, reduce burnout, increase confidence, talk about the structure of sessions. And it's really a chance for any potential clients to just ask questions, bust those myths about hypnotherapy and ask anything they want to. And if they decide I'm the right therapist for them, then great. But if not, they'll still leave with an audio that they can listen to. And, like I say, there's no obligation to actually book sessions.
Yeah, because I guess it's a bit like anything. I'm a business strategist as well as owning the WiBN franchise, and not all clients want to work with me. You've got to find the right fit
Yeah.
for the types of people that A, you want to work with, and B, want to work with you. So having that conversation, I often think people think that free consultations are just a sales pitch, but they never are. They are an opportunity for both sides to really understand if they can help each other, because we can't always. I know I've had clients come to me in the past and I'm like, "I'm not the right person for you, but I could signpost you for other resources." Is that the type of stuff you do as well? You'll signpost people to perhaps other resources that can help them between sessions with you,
Yeah.
give them
And also
homework
some
to do?
people, the only homework we do is focusing on what's been good, writing down what's been good. But yeah, some people will come to me and they really want to unpack everything in their past. They want to talk about, and that's when I say, I'm not the right therapist for you.
Yeah.
We're goal focused. there are other therapists that, you know, will delve into the past. I don't do any past life regression or any of those other forms of hypnotherapy. So definitely I'm not the right therapist for some people, and maybe they're not the right client for me. So yeah, it's just a chance to find out more about each other, really.
Yeah, brilliant. And I will include this in the show notes for the recording so that if you are interested in connecting with Laura, you'll be able to find her details. But where is the best place for people to find out more about you and what you do?
So the best place is my website, which is www.brighterfuturetherapypractice.com. Quite a mouthful. I also am on LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram, and I'm in the hypnotherapy directory, the National Council of Hypnotherapy directory, and also on the WiBN website.
Brilliant. And is that directory almost like an accredited kind of site that you've got to have been, you have to be at a certain level to be published on that directory?
Yeah, so hypnotherapy, or actually therapists in general, is not a protected term. So anyone can say they're a hypnotherapist or a therapist. So it's important when you are choosing someone is that you go on one of these directories, because then we're bound by a code of conduct. We have to have confidentiality. We have to have continuous training, insurance. So yeah, that's the best place to look for them.
Tell me the directory name again.
There's the hypnotherapy directory. And I'm also on the directory for the Association of Solution Focused Hypnotherapy, and NCH, which is the National Council for Hypnotherapy.
Brilliant. Because I think, often, as you say, when I started my interior design business in the UK, you don't have to, you don't have an accreditation to be an interior designer. Anyone can say, I am an interior designer. But I think when you have got, some of these different services that you're offering, actually making sure you're always working with somebody that has done the work and not just opened a room in their house and said, yeah, I can help, because there's more damage, I would imagine, that can be done. The worst thing I would ever be doing is putting the wrong colour paint on the wall, which, didn't happen, but could have happened at some point. Yeah. Well, it's been fantastic to chat with you. I have certainly learned more about solution-based hypnotherapy, and got to know you a little bit more, because you are one of my newer members at WiBN Lee. If you are interested in visiting a WiBN meeting, please just check out the details in the notes below, and you'll find out details about where you can find out more about the different groups that I run. But thank you for joining us. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you at a meeting soon.
Yeah, see you soon. Thank you.
See you soon.